Hello everybody, I'm back here at UKG 2025 with Chris from OnTableTop Games to talk about all things retro, classic and somewhat short.
Shall I squat? I'll squat down this low. Shall I keep squatting? No. Welcome to 1994. I want to sort of like ride home tonight on my BMX to have fish fingers cooked by my mum, play Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive, and just have a lovely time. Because it's 1994 forever. It was 11 years ago now, 1994, but not today. Yeah. It's 1994 all day. And this is my miniatures. I've made them colourful like miniatures should be. Because it's 1994, we want to feel joy in the world. Everything is right. Everything's got sort of like very paintable heads. They've got large shoulder pads because it's 90. They've got even bigger guns because it's the 90s. They've got bright colours because it's the 90s. Like Cable from X-Men, if he was a dwarf, I like to think. We've got massive, sarcastically large guns. We've got bikes with tyres that are so wide that they're impossible to turn in real life, but that doesn't matter because it's just miniatures. We've got an Akira slide over here. We've just got every single colour we could think of all at once. We've got sharp packaging, we've got hills that are sort of like made out of polystyrene roofing tiles, and all of our bases are goblin green because that's the only way we do it.
It is the only colour for bases. So we're going to have to kick things off. Obviously it has a very retro feel for people of a certain calibre of age, shall we say. What inspired? Well, yeah. What inspired you to start this?
Well, it started this sort of like during lockdown when I was sort of having to sculpt some dice in 3D, and we were having to do 20-sided dice, and it was so complex sculpting a 20-sided dice that I had to learn some new software. And by the time I'd finished learning that software, I thought I could sculpt some dwarves like this. I could sculpt something with that I want to make, and so I thought I could do what sells, I could do what's popular, but I thought what has never existed and what doesn't exist, and what did I want to exist in 1994? And I made those, and it just sort of like flowed out of me. It just felt right. I entered a trance-like state. I had PJ and Duncan on. They were sort of, like they got ready to rumble. I was ready to rumble that day. Manson, Attack of the Grey Lantern was there. It was wonderful. I just entered a trance-like state, and miniatures appeared at the other side that I was able to paint and to like share with other people.
It has been a joy watching this creep out there. I remember when I showed the first set of these off at the beginning of the Kickstarter to a friend in Germany. Tim went absolutely bananas for them, and he's picked them all up since, and constantly hunts for more, I think.
Oh, well, we're going to be doing some more very soon. I've sculpted them, I've painted the first one. They're going to be sort of like eggs on legs. They're going to be very heavily armoured. They're going to be, they're going to have massive, sarcastically large shoulder pads. They're going to be very low to the ground. They're going to come in squads of 5. They're going to be fighting their way through mines and clearing mines. And they're going to sort of like reinforce these armies. Because I've done the basic trooper now. Yep. I've done the bikers. I want to do super heavily armoured guys, a couple of characters. I want to sort of like put some kind of wheels on the side of the bikes at the back to make them into trikes. Yes. Maybe have a sidecar, maybe some weapon options. And then if people like that, I might do something like a tank that goes underground because it drills into the ground and pops up again, absolutely full of space dwarves, and just sort of like they spill out the side, throw the demolition charges off, and then go off to the pub afterwards.
Well, I mean, you should probably bring the tankards with you if you're playing Space Dwarves. I love the idea of heavily armoured Space Dwarves, potentially heavily armoured Space Dwarves on trikes as well, because they were filth back in the day. Oh, second edition, I love you so much.
Oh, I'd love to do that. I found some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bikes that were toys, which were sort of like have 2 wheels at the front and 1 wheel at the back, which is a really nice way of doing a trike. So it's still a trike, but sort of like instead of Raphael on there, I'd have an egg on leg sort of, like heavily armoured guy, big shock lance on one side, a little Viking-style pennant fluttering out the back, and just sort of like nice knotwork tyres, because, I get very obsessed about like making sure the pattern on the tyres is not just sort of like a boring sort of like 90 degree. No, I want this to be like leaf lined and elaborate Viking sort of like design on the sort of like thing behind it. That's,
I mean, it's the way to do it. If you're going to lean into something, lean all the way. Lean in so much that you skid all the way down a bridge, just like that. Did you do all the box design and that sort of thing as well? Because it is absolutely fantastic. It's both evocative of that period of the early 90s, but at the same time also has that real Viking feel that sort of Space Dwarves require.
Yeah, well, I went down to my local model railway shop and I bought every single green mat I could, trying to find a sort of like a nice green mat that would sort of just set off the miniatures, but it was light enough to sort of like set off the bases, but not too heavy to be saturated. And then I got a shelf off my bookshelf, stuck it on the back, and then just, that was it. That was all I had to do for the photography on the front, nice flat colours, because some people want them on their shelves in their game shop, some people might have them on their bedroom, and I just like the idea that they're colourful and they attract the eye. I've seen so many people walking down this hallway today just sort of like breaking into smiles. The men of our age, you know, sort of just smiling from ear to ear because they just sort of like it's not that grim, it's not that dark, but it's sort of like it's colourful, it's joyful, it's exciting. There's enough drudge in the world. I just want these things to shine and be colourful and bring people joy.
Yeah. I mean, as the delightful Robin Williams once said, if you're going to go to war, don't hide in camouflage so nobody can see you. If you're going to fight, clash. So, I mean, it's a great way of doing it. Where can people find you if they're here at the Expo over the weekend?
Well, we've got a nice little OnTos Games website. It's ontosgames.co.uk. That's where all of the stuff that's on sale is currently on sale. Might be in stock by the end of the weekend, I don't know, not at this rate. We've got our Blue Sky, there we're ontosgames.co.uk on Blue Sky. We're Instagram, OnTos Games. We're Facebook, OnTos Games. And then we've got some stuff on cults that I haven't got around to rebranding and it's not that pronounceable. But, you know, we got our stuff like our space cactus on there, which is impossible to cast because it would rip the mold. It would just destroy it. So that's just a 3D print, but everything else beautifully hand cast in resin in a nice little vacuum chamber, and they're all available when they go back in stock after the show on TOS Games.
Spectacular stuff. And if you're here at the Expo, you can come down to 3B1, tucked in the corner, not far away from food, which is always good, and check it out. There may be some left by the time you hit this point in the weekend. We're going to push on and see what else there is here. Don't forget to check out the live blog and live stream for everything else at the Expo. Bye-bye.